Pick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
All right, what's up, guys? This is Tom Taylor with South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts. Over there on the other side of the screen is one of the top atomweights in one championship, and probably one of the most prolific cat collectors in the world, Jihin Radzuan. Jihin, it's always great to be talking to you. How are things going? How's life?
So far so good. I mean, like it's been interesting. It's only 4 months of the year, but a lot of things happen. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, you've definitely been busy from the looks of it. Let's get right into it. I saw you were training at Fairtex in Pattaya. That seems like a really exciting idea for you, a great idea for you. How long were you there for, first of all?
I was there for a month. Yeah,
Okay,
for a
nice,
month.
nice. And so what inspired you to go there? How did this trip come about?
So it's actually a funny story because I went there to help Stamp to prepare
Mhm.
her upcoming fight. So it's happened very like it's like in a glimpse of fight, like on the short time because I received one DM from Prem, and then he asked me, he DM me, he said, "Hi Jihin, this is Prem." Okay, and then I replied, "Hi Prem, how can I help you?" And then he told me what he wanted to, and then I said, "Okay." Like like it's very short conversation. I After I said okay, he booked me a ticket, and then I flew there and started to train.
So why do you think they picked you to help get ready for Elise Anderson? Is it because your games are a little bit similar, or what? What do you think the reason is?
I think because my ground game, my grappling is like quite decent, so I can give a bit pressure for stamps, and of course, yeah,
Mhm.
because I'm a
Was
legit fighter.
Yeah, you're definitely very legit for sure. I think you're a great person to bring in to prepare for Elise. I'd say you have sort of similar skill sets. Very important question, Jihin. Did you miss your cats while you were away? That must have been very difficult for you.
It's freaking difficult for me. Like the first thing first, like day in the morning, like every day in the morning, I will text my sister or my mom. I will ask them to send the picture of my cat. Like it's
Hmm.
like freaking hard to live without a cat. Like every cat that I saw on the street, I'm like calling them, come to me.
Yeah. When I travel to Asia for work to cover one championship, the hardest part every time is leaving my cat. It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you survived that. That sounds very difficult. So what were you and Stamp working on? Like what were the training days like for you there?
So like uh the training itself is quite is similar to ours, like in my game. Just the difference is they train in daytime and I train at night. So in the morning they will go for a run, and then after that they will do based on the schedule. Like in the morning we will do MMA sparring or wrestling or ground game. We will work on that, and then 2:30 we have another grappling class. So we just not sparring, just fix whatever we have to fix it, and we drill, learn some new techniques, and then we do like a cage, catch, cage drill and escape position. And then in the evening we do pad work session, Muay Thai session. So that one will be separate. And then at night we'll do another class.
Hmm.
Like we train at night until 8. So like the time that I didn't train with her is only the Muay Thai time, the pad work time.
Hmm.
So most of the time I'm with her.
Okay, cool. Well, that sounds like very good training, but also very exhausting. The
Exhausting,
really,
yeah.
yeah, I bet. The interesting thing, of course, about all of this is that you just fought Stamp, right? Sometimes fighters will fight each other and then train together a few years later, but you guys literally just fought. I mean, what was that like? It must have been. Was it weird or was it interesting? I mean, how did that
Um
feel?
So for me, it depending on your mindset and how you see things. Like for me, maybe for some people they don't want to train with your opponent, but for me, I really open my heart. I really open my mind. Very professional about this. Like I have one intention. I want to help her for this fight camp. So like we only fighting in the cage. Like outside of the cage, I'm friend with everyone. I don't mind if you are like you beat me up or I beat you up, but outside of the cage we are professional. We are
Hmm.
like both of us, we know we are an athlete. So what we do in the cage doesn't affect what you are outside of the cage. Yeah.
That's a great mindset.
So
I think that makes a lot of sense.
so if you ask me about the like how does it feel, is like it's feel very how to say, for me it's a new thing for me. One thing is because I've never trained with girls in MMA, like generally in MMA and Tat World, everything. And then when I went to Fairtex and then I trained with her, and then she has a very goofy, she's very happy-go-lucky type of girl, and then she didn't make me feel like very awkward, like she really friendly, and then makes me feel like a family there. So I don't think it's very awkward. Like it's like a new kind of thing. Yeah.
Of course, you speak different languages. You speak different first languages. Was it difficult to communicate at all, or was that pretty easy?
It's actually not at all. I mean, because we are both Asian, like we understand they are, like although they are not, there's a communication barrier, but then we understand their body language and their types of how to say like they speak little English, but you can understand the language. It's very hard to explain for me, but then I understand that. Yeah.
I think I get what you mean. The nuances, the little details of communication. Yeah.
I mean, like even like in my English and other Asian English is quite similar. So when you like direct translate from your language to English, I can understand. Like if maybe you don't understand, but I understand. Yeah.
Very, very cool. There were some other great women at the gym while you were there, of course. Loma was there, Smila Sundell, who's a champion and won. Were you able to train with anyone else? I mean, any other good training sessions there?
I've trained with if you watch last one FC in Lumpini, Nong M. Yeah, I've trained with her. She's great. Junior Fairtex, I've trained with her. There's a lot of like when you see people in the TV or social media, it's like totally different than you see in real life. So like some of them is like takes me sometimes to recognize them, but they are actually quite famous. Like after a few days only I realized, oh, this guy, oh, that guy. So lots of famous people there.
Yeah, that's very cool. Of course, one of the most famous people is Stamp. After training with her for a month, do you feel confident that she's ready to fight Elise and ready to beat Elise Anderson?
Of course. I mean, like, like you can see her spirit and you can see how she hardworking. She's been put 100% of work in training, and then she listens, like to her corner well, and then she adapt to like certain new things. Like maybe we work on the cage side, like maybe in one day, like on day one, she didn't do very great, and then after we explained to her, like the coaches there explained to her like she had to do this and do that, and then she adapt it and absorb it quite well. Yeah, she's ready, I think.
Very cool. So the expectation, if she wins this fight with Elise, is that she'll fight Ham So-hee for the interim title. Do you think that she can win that fight? I know we're looking quite far down the road at this point, but that's a fight that people are already talking about. What do you think of a Ham So-hee versus Stamp Fairtex fight? Who wins that one?
It's going to be very exciting match because both of them are striker, right? And like both of them are great fighters. It's very hard for me to say it, but like both of them have a different like different style and different types of striking. Like as you can see, Stam, she's more on the Muay Thai side, and then for So-hee Ham, she's more like kickboxer boxing, and then she only like throw the straight, very accurate straight. And then like over sometimes you can actually predict what she's going to do, and you can see her game already, like she's going for the straight hand. So if let's say she's going to do the same thing against them, I think it's going to be different story.
Yeah, that's great analysis. You should do play-by-play commentary for one championship or something. That was no, great breakdown. Another atomweight I wanted to ask you about really quickly before we talk a little bit about you is Itsuki Hirata. She, of course, just fought Ham So-hee. You beat her last year, and then she got a win after that and then lost to Ham again. It seems like she's struggling a bit with consistency, but she's very popular, is still a very good young fighter. Just as another young fighter who's fought her before, do you have any kind of advice for her, or do you think there's anything she can do to kind of start getting the results she wants?
Okay, so first thing first, I think she's a very great, martial artist. She know what she's doing. She know how to promote herself, and she's very pretty as well. And you can see she's very, stylish. You can see, on IG. And for skill wise, I think she's doing very great. But like sometimes you have to like humble down a little bit. Like sometimes if you overconfident and then you against somebody like more experienced than you, then you break your own confidence. You are showing that you are confident, but actually deep down there you are doubting yourself. So I think in that fight, like of course as a atomweight myself, I have to like keep eye on everybody. I have to like get ready, maybe rematch with her or opponent or my other opponent. So I always watch everyone. So like you can see her fight camp was very great. Like she was very, um her body nice, and then her techniques getting, you can see the pad work, the heat and everything is very accurate and very fast. And but like I said, she has to humble down and try to believe in herself more.
That's more great analysis. Very well said.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, it's coming across very well. Let's circle back to you. I mean, after training for a month at Fairtex with Stamp and Nong Am and all these dangerous fighters, you must feel yourself like you've also improved a little bit. Like, do you feel like you're a better fighter than you were a month ago?
How to say this? Like for me, like me myself, since the day one, since I started MMA, kickboxing, and everything, started to compete, I've been with UMA Ultimate Beatdown, Ultimate MMA Academy here. I never experienced a camp more than 1 week. Let's say 1 week. In other places. So this is like very a new experience for me, and then I met a lot of new people. And then like for me here, maybe I'm already in my comfort zone, so I already know what to do. I already have my own style of pad work, have my own style of grappling and everything. So when I went to Fairtex, it's about the same about what to what I've learned here, but then just a small detail, make it different, like maybe the consistency, the pressure and everything. So I think I much better right now. I think for my, like sometimes when you experience new things, there's a two different things that it's going to happen. First you learn, and the second thing is like you're getting worse. But for me it's I learn more, like in details, small details. So far I think I'm improved in the small details. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Great to hear. So are you going to be making more trips like this now that you've done this? I know you're loyal to your gym there, but do you think you're going to be doing more things like this going forward?
Yeah, I mean, like, loyal it doesn't mean you have to stay here, like loyal, that means you have to like, your root, where you came from, and then how to say, to appreciate your coaches and your training partner. Like maybe I will do this more often, but we'll see how it goes. I have to bring my cat together, like a backpack traveling. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But then definitely I will travel more,
Cool.
for a month or two, like that.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about your plans for the rest of the year before I let you go. I mean, you don't have a fight booked right now. Is there anything on the table? Have you been speaking to one about your next move?
So when I was in Thailand, I went to Lumpini Stadium twice, and I've met Basir, I met Prem, and then they were asking me about what do you think about fighting in one Lumpini. I think then I was saying like, like I'm up to everything. Like you want to give me striking, like Muay Thai or kickboxing fight, I will be more happy than that. And if you give MMA in the ring, I'm happy for it as well. So as long as I keep active. And for now, although I don't have any fight book in one FC, but then I'm preparing for SEA Games kickboxing. I will be representing Malaysia for kickboxing. Yeah, in Cambodia.
Oh, that's so cool. When does that start?
May. In May,
Okay.
mid-May. Yeah.
Okay. And one championship had no objections to you doing that?
Still no, but then when they started to promote you on their platform, you have to be ready for it. So like for now, although I'm in consider I saw off season for MMA, but now it's still on season for fight camp and
Okay.
striking. So just like like I've been doing
Yeah.
this forever, so like it's not a very hard thing for me to like just start fight camp.
Very cool. So I'm guessing that training at Fairtex with people like Stamp was probably pretty good practice for this upcoming tournament, right? You must be feeling pretty
Yep.
confident.
Yeah. The confidence is that like confidence comes from me. So like it doesn't how to say, it's not related to like who I train with. It's
Mhm.
everything is in me. Like training with them is like a big honor for me. Like like people see me as a legit fighter, and they acknowledge my my skills and my techniques and everything, and then they think that I'm a great fighter. That's why they bring me over there to train with them. So
Mhm.
like I'm pretty, confident with myself and my skill sets.
Very cool. So when will the games be over, and when are you hoping to be back in competition in one?
Of course. I mean like I've been off for like 6 months or 5 months like that. So of course I'd be more happy to be back in the cage, in the circle, in the ring or whatsoever
Mhm.
as soon as possible.
Okay. And is there anyone you'd like to fight? The top five's looking very good right now. I know you're not big on callouts, but is there anybody, interesting matchups for you?
I never think of this. I mean like you cannot avoid everyone.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, fair
yeah.
enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No call
Anyone.
outs necessary. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, well, let's start wrapping this up. I mean, where do you want to be by the time this year's over? Obviously, you've got these games coming up. That could be very exciting. But in terms of one championship, are you hoping for one more fight before the year's out, two more? What are you thinking?
Of course, I want to keep like, as you remember last year, I fought 2 events in less than a month. Like, of course,
Mhm.
this year I don't want it to be so crazy, but I'm hoping to like to have one fight in the you know mid year and one at the end of the year. Yeah, two
Okay.
fight, one fight is okay for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you've had a busy day there. You had a tough training session. I'll let you go. But before I do you have a message for your fans, whether they're humans or cats? What do you say to the people that are supporting you?
Well, I wanted to say, of course, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who like supporting me through up and down, whether I'm lose or I'm winning, and then you can see like I've seen a lot of positive messages on my social media. So thank you for it, and I really appreciate it.